Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to Sakura Alien 2. My name is MS-Punk1, and last video we were doing our club activities on the rooftop. This time accompanied or together with our new professor, Professor Sakai. But we had to cut our activity a bit short since the Sakai seemed to be a bit chilly, and we didn't want her to go to get sick. And for some reason she was kind of focused on Enna. So what is she thinking or suspecting or whatever? And also what is she doing, since towards the end of the video she, by mistake, hopefully, she was doing something else. So wonder how things will go there. But now I think we are on our way home, so what will happen? We will strum the club's activities over for the day or night. I suppose you could say I walk back to my apartment with Anna. It's a little after 10. What? It's little after 10 p.m. I think that is. And the chill air is colder than ever before. I shiver into my coat, my hands buried deep inside the pockets of my pants. When I walk, my footsteps echoing about the empty streets. I think back upon Professor Sakai. And no, I'm not just thinking about our close, intimate encounter in the hallway. Well, I'd be lying if I said that didn't occupy at least a shiver of my brain's working capacity. I still recall how she gazed at Enna on the rooftop, as though she was searching for something. What was the search? What she was searching for, though? What was she searching for, though? Was she even searching for anything? Could it be possible I'm reading into things too much? Anna exclaims, drawing me from my thoughts. She beams, arms linked behind her back, then glances at me from over her shoulder. You're that certain you'd win then? Anna laughs enthusiastically, like a blue-blooded lady. Well, she is an alien, so maybe her blood really is blue. Laughter is so righteous. I'm afraid she might disturb the people in the apartment blocks that we pass during our walk. But I remind myself it's not all that late. It's pitch black outside, sure, safe around the pale moon, but it's always dark around this time of year. I'm sure it'll be fine. I hope it'll be fine, at least. And I'm not just referring to Anna's laugh over or even the week's supply of pudding she certainly have to purchase for her, and I have to purchase for her. Hey, Anna, I was wondering something. This might be my imagination, but, well, did you notice that Professor Sakai was staring at you when we were on the roof? I think so. You were looking up at the stars with fury, so maybe it slipped your attention, but she couldn't keep her eyes off you. She was transfixed. We should have asked Professor Sakai like a joke, say, sing anything you like. Anna ponders one hand beneath her lower lip. I'm anxious that this news might make Anna anxious in turn, but... So you think Professor Sakai has a crush on you? I don't know if that's something you should sound so proud about. I flick Anna's forehead and she winches. It seems she has a few blind spots after all, despite her thirst for knowledge. Feline females? Brow furrows. You mean cat girls? Was she somehow reading or playing Nekopara? Okay, now you're going too far. Give Anna's forehead another flick. I don't know what Anna's been reading exactly. Filthy it would seem, but I might have to start vetoing what books she checks out on the university library. Well, does the library even have books like that? In any event, I doubt Professor Sakai has a crush on you. You are very cute, but that isn't the issue here. Professor Sakai wasn't staring at you as somebody might have a crush. The gaze felt more intense, somehow. Depending how you see it, okay. So yes, that is one thing. Maybe not, but I frown. I think you should try to keep your distance from her. I don't trust her. The smiling Anna loops her arm through mine, then presses our bodies close. I'm worried, yeah. You'll become an important part of my life, Anna. I don't want anybody discovering your true identity, and I definitely don't want them coming between us. Not even if said person is a beautiful, slightly gothic older woman like Professor Sakai. Or at least he actually confessed to himself that she was beautiful. She's easy on the eye, certainly, but that wouldn't be enough to console me. Should she start causing problems? I'm content with my life as it is. I don't want it falling apart on me. I try to look after you as best I can, but you need to be more careful too. You can't let anybody know you're an alien, least of all Professor Sakai. That would cause all kinds of problems. Anna relents with a smile. Giggling Anna stands on her tiptoe, then presses a feather-light kiss on my cheek. The following days that pass are dominated, or so it seems, by Professor Sakai's presence. I see her on occasions, and I can't commute to the campus with Yori. Though I've yet to spy her sleeping on the sidewalk as she did during our first encounter. I guess she learned from that little mishap, because she swapped out her favored heels for a pair of flats. I see her on the campus too, during my lectures, and later in the astronomy club room, and up on the roof. Professor Sakai appeared in my life like a bolt of the blue, but now she's become more entrenched within it than I ever imagined she would. When she looks at me, it feels like she's searching for something. But I think her real point of interest is Anna. Her eyes seem drawn to Anna as though by a powerful magnetism. She's not said anything to suggest that she suspects Anna of being anything other than an ordinary human. But she especially but the special attention she's paying her is unnerving. I'm sure something is awry, but I have no idea what is. Left with no real way of raising this subject to Professor Sakai, for fear of rushing her suspicion. I instead focus on trudging through the days with as impassive an expression as possible. It's exhausting, if I'm being quite honest. Perhaps even more so than dealing with the broken boiler was. Fortunately, the landlord has since fixed that. Anna, for her part, seems utterly unaware of Professor Sakai's attentions. She's behaving in much the same manner as she always, rarely without a smile on her face. I'm glad Anna's cheery nature have been so unaffected, but it does worry me. I wish I knew what Professor Sakai was after, but I have no idea what that might be. This all seems set to change one Wednesday lunchtime. However, at the close of one of Professor Sakai's lectures. I'm almost at the entrance of the lecture hall, ready to slip away with my fellow students when she calls me back. I don't much want to have a word with Professor Sakai unless said word is goodbye. I've been seeing quite a lot of her lately, but I don't want to be rude. Yes? I examined Professor Sakai blankly during my level best to keep any encroaching anxiety from my features. I have to look neutral. That seems paramount, given the circumstances. Is something the matter, Professor Sakai? Professor Sakai frowns, her arms folded beneath her chest. I'm starting to feel sick. Delicate? Professor Sakai nods. Okay, now I'm really starting to panic. I thought there was a chance as I shoved my way back to Professor Sakai that she wanted to talk about something in us, like my grades. But this sounds serious. Why is she dragging my friends into this matter? She's not said as much, but this has got to be about Anna. I'm certain of it. I swallow. All of a sudden my throat feels very dry. I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. No, I'm not. It's lunchtime. I don't have anything to do right now. Professor Sakai's posits this question to me in a perfectly cordial manner, but she must know I've no real choice in the matter. Not after she spouted all that cryptic stuff about the welfare of my friends. It was valid, though about 3 layers of obfuscation. But I'm not stupid. I can recognize a threat when I hear one. Professor Sakai means to tell me something I won't like, and she knows I won't like it. She wouldn't want to talk to me in her office otherwise. I swallow again, trying to shake the unpleasant aridly on my throat, let's say. Adly. I can't pronounce that word, sorry. I think that sounds fine, ma'am. Please lead the way to your office. I have no objections. Professor Sakai smiles thinly, but it's a smile which lasts only a few moments. She picks up her fashionable coat, folding it over one arm, and then heads to the entrance of a lecture hall. Professor Sakai observes me coyly, one leg crossed over another. She's sitting at her desk in her office, which isn't practically large or imposing, but is quite fancy. There's a large window by her desk, which lets in a lot of pale wintry light, which illuminates a few framed landscape paintings on the walls. There are bookshelves in the corners filled with paper bags, and a few filling cabinets standing to attention like soldiers. Professor Sakai's desk, meanwhile, is made of wood, and it's piled high with Michelle, a bunch of papers, I guess, neatly arranged. The desktop monitor is shut off, and beside it rests a stack of books. Several essays Professor Sakai must have been in process of making, and a cup of half-drunk coffee with smear of lilac lipstick on the rim. A single glance tells me that this is the office of a mature, hard-working woman. Not that I need to look around Professor Sakai's office to tell that much. I already knew she was a sensible woman. It is strange though. Amused that I can't see any personal effects scattered about beyond the coffee cup with a lipstick stained rim. Can't see any photographs or on Professor Sakai's desk or family members or all the family members or friends. There's no signs in her office she has any family members or friends at all. Her office might be neat, but it's a bit staid. Something about it makes me feel on edge. But well, maybe that can be attributed to the fact that she implored me to come here with her in the first place. Not entirely sure what it is she wants to tell me, but I no doubt it must be something serious. If it wasn't, she wouldn't be looking at me like that. Strange. I swallow, trying and failing to keep the shudder from my voice. What do you mean exactly? Right, can you be more specific on that? What? No? I glance away, unable to meet Professor Sakai's gaze for a moment longer. Okay, you more or less just confessed that you actually have something to hide, because people only do that when they do have something to hide. It's so intense, it feels like my skin is being flayed from my bones. I'm reminded once more of the intense look Professor Sakai shot Anna when she first accompanied us on one of our stargazing activities. She was staring at her then, as though she could see straight through her. I feared for her words then, and I'm even more fearful now. Does Professor Sakai know Anna is an alien? How could she have guessed? What will happen now? Professor Sakai leans forward on her chair and rests a hand upon her shoulder. I think she means this to be a comforting gesture, but it feels more like a threat. No, that's no problem, really. I slide Professor Sakai's gasping hand from my shoulder, then inch back in my seat. She was laying her hand on my shoulder. I thought she was laying it on her own for some reason. I was thinking, why is she doing that? It might be a cold wintry day, but my innards feel unnaturally frigid. It's getting hard to breathe. I can tell that I'm panicking, but I wouldn't do to let Professor Sakai see that. That would only heighten her suspicions. I have to try and play it cool. That means I have to stop shuddering. I don't know what you think you know, but there's nothing wrong really. Professor Sakai raises an eyebrow. Well, Wait, you were sent here? What consequences? I stammer out a reply after what feels like entirely too long. My throat constricted with tension, and my fingers digging into my thighs. My stomach is so heavy I feel like I swallowed a stone. Are you threatening me, Professor? Professor Sakai sighs. It is against law or rules really, a teacher threatening a student. It's against the law in general, rather not to threaten people, right? So Shouldn't this be extra? Expelled? For what? What have I done to deserve that? Then you mean to ruin my future by telling a bunch of lies. Can I talk to my lawyer first? The small smile plays about Professor Sakai's mouth. I didn't. I open my mouth and close it. I feel so overwhelmed I have no idea what to say. I didn't have much hope when Professor Sakai asked me to come to her office for a talk. But the ultimatum she given me is worse than anything I could have anticipated. It seems almost unbelievable that early this morning I was, as I walked to campus with Fiore and Anna, I felt so peaceful. I had no idea back then that my life was about to take so drastic a turn. Now the threat of being expelled is hanging over me like a true proverbial rain cloud. As far as I can see, I have two options. I can either betray Anne and admit that she's an alien, or I can keep quiet and let Professor Sakai ruin my future. Why not just take her to the club room and let the girls explain themselves? That would be easier. I'm not much like either choice. This doesn't seem right. Surely there's something else I can do. Can't we talk about this? although I sees onto this crack in Professor Sakai's defense eagerly. Perhaps pathetically so, like a dog with a bone. Is that something I can do for you, Professor? Just say the word and I try to help you. I'm willing to do almost anything, no matter how mental menial. If you leave me and Huri alone. Professor Sakai dips her head, and cheeks pale pink beneath her foundation. Wait, can it be that we actually are thinking too much into this, and we think that, or Haru is thinking that Sakai is onto to us with Anna being an alien. But can it be that the only thing that Sakai is onto is that we actually have all a harem? That would actually be kind of comical if that's all. She bites her lower lip. You're kidding me. Professor Sakai's eyes bore into mine. They are half-lidded, but her expression is intense. I can't meet her gaze without squirming. I feel like I'm about to melt. Professor Sakai leans in, her fingers cup my cheek, bringing our faces closer still. Well done. If I was uncertain before, there's no doubt now. Professor Sakai might be a professor. I her student, but she's definitely propositioning me. I might be dense. It took me an age before I realized he already had the hots for me. But I'm not that dense. Professor Sakai is so close to me now I could lean in and kiss her if I wanted. By that token, she could also lean in and kiss me. But I think she's waiting for my say, so forceful of her confession. She's being awfully considerate of my feelings. Professor Sakai's face is on fire, and her chest is heaving beneath her charcoal grey sweater. Can't hear the beating of her heart, but I bet it's going crazy. Professor Sakai tries to act aloof and above it all, but she can't mask her real feelings. They've written all over her face. Her openness is certainly enticing. I don't know if I'd be opposed to kissing her, if that's what she really wants. But what do I want? What do I want? Can I really go along with this? Do it. I mean to think about this seriously, really, I do. Professor Sakai's flustered face is so lovely, it's eroding away my brain. So we have been more or less been on this route ever since the beginning, so why not go with it? I can't be sensible right now. Professor Sakai is looking at me like that. What man could resist when so attractive a woman is propositioning them so openly? I know what I know that I can't. I'm not an alien like Anna, and I'm only human. I want to hold Professor Sakai to me, and I want to impress my mouth upon hers. I want to kiss her. And so I do. Our mouths overlap, our lips fitting together like two pieces of a puzzle. Professor Sakai's shot eyes open, initially in surprise. But as the seconds pass, she begins to relax into the kiss. I wind my arms about her waist and press our bodies together. I can feel Professor Sakai's warmth through the fabric of her sweater. She's so soft I feel obliged to handle her carefully. I hate to hurt her. Professor Sakai might be my senior, not to mention my lecturer, but she doesn't feel like it right now. The distance between us, born from our gap in age and our different statures, has vanished. With our mouths pressed together like this, we feel like equals. Is that what she wants? She did tell me she's been lonely. I'm a nice guy, at least I try to be, and I want to ease this loneliness of hers, if I can. I want to make her happy. Then maybe she spare the astronomy club. Maybe she'd be content to leave us alone, and my peaceful days can continue uninterrupted. I think that would be the best outcome for everybody involved. Then we'd be happy. And then we all be happy. If only life were that easy. Okay, someone's happy. I think that will be it for this video. So hope you liked it, and if you did so, leave a like to it as usual, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!